Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kirby Adventures of Kirby. I'm Drunken Dad still.
I like how we were all set up to like bitch and moan because MCU Spider-Man was getting or Spider-Man Downcoming was getting re-released, and then like
Yeah, we were ready to make fun of that and be like, oh look, DLC, and
and
well,
then like literally a day later, it's just dead. And it's like I'm not even kind of say I'm glad that it's happened because I know
It's
people.
all it's
I
all
know
over now.
I know people legitimately like those movies for some reason.
yeah. What's funny though, what was it? So what was it? A lot of it is too Disney bots that kept the that was getting the fucking some of the hashtags trending. I learned, which is really funny to me.
I mean, it is a baffling situation where like people are like, man, fuck Sony for like, not wanting to have Disney make $1 billion off of a property that they sort of do co-own at this point. And it's like,
What's funny too about it is was it the MCU Spider-Man films are funded by Sony?
well, yeah, because it's a
So
collaboration.
this is for the audience. So what's funny about this is, and this is what I think they wanted to do, what they were going for. So okay, so you know how they just bought Fox? They said, "Fuck it, we'll just buy you."
Yeah,
Sony is a little bit. Well, a couple countries are also like, "Yeah, you buy another one. Fuck you, we're coming for you." Not America, because America doesn't give a shit. But
I thought America literally said, no, you can't do. No, okay, last one, you can't do this anymore.
oh yeah, oh wait, yeah, it was America. I know America, and I think the UK were like, you can't do this.
I mean,
again.
The,
right
the,
up.
the antitrust like committees like spent like a week going over this to making sure like it was in balance with the power or whatever, and they're like, okay, but this is the last company you can buy. I mean, they might change their tune, but
So here's what I think they wanted to do. Like, I think this is what their goal was. They wanted fucking what they wanted to do with this 50-50 split is they wanted Sony to take it, obviously.
Yeah.
They're not looking to negotiate. They really aren't. Because that's what I thought at first it could have been it's like some stupid negotiation thing to try and get a better deal, but then I realized that they were then it's like, oh, you're doing bots and shit. Okay, that's not your plan. I think what their plan literally is that they want Sony to take this deal and basically strangle the IP out of them.
Yep. I mean, they know they're not getting it, like, through just waiting for the rights to do that, and they're not really going to be able to buy Sony because, I mean...
Sony is really big, and also the antitrust
And
thing.
also they're
I'm pretty
Japanese.
sure. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
I'm,
Japanese
I'm pretty
companies
sure
are harder
like
to buy.
I'm pretty sure the Japanese like they won't sell to Disney.
Yeah,
Like they won't let an American company buy them, no matter how much money they offer.
it's like, they'll just get told, yeah, they'll be told in no uncertain terms, no, you don't make this deal.
They're
So
like,
it's
no,
like-
we're not buying. No, we're not buying this because we're not gonna have our high and mighty CEOs like have to take orders from an American.
Basically, plus, if Sony were to be bought out, they would like take over what is a massive like cultural / media company.
I've also said they said that Disney can't afford to buy Sony.
Yeah, probably not. Sony, unlike News Corp, unlike sort of Fox, wasn't in any major trouble, I don't think.
Or if they do, like,
And also it's like no, they're not really in any kind of trouble, and like it's not just a media company, it's like
Well, they're electronics
it's
and stuff.
electronics, all kinds of shit. Like their hands are in a lot of pots.
Yeah, so it's like it's not like Fox, which was more or less specifically just the media, just like the media.
Yeah, you basically just bought a media company, and I think they just didn't buy the news outlet. Was all they didn't buy.
No, they didn't buy Fox News, no. Well,
That was the only thing they didn't grab, and I think it was because they already had a news outlet, so they weren't allowed. I think that was the reason. I think that was part of the antitrust talk, actually. But yeah. So but like I was saying, my theory is definitely that their goal is to strangle the IP out of them by doing the 50, because if you're only making 50% of just the production profits, because they make none of the merchandising profits, that all goes to Disney. Whether it be like say this or like say they made figures for Spider-Verse, all of that goes to Disney.
yeah.
So if you make it 50%, no company's going to want to sit there with that IP that long, no matter how valuable it is, because it's not worth the risk. So stuff like they were planning to do more Spider-Verse stuff. That's, if they took that deal, Spider-Verse would be out, especially with the sales that it did, because it didn't perform nearly as well as it really needed to, unfortunately.
But
so, like, they wouldn't want to take a risk on something like that again. So stuff like Spider-Verse would just be out.
I think they had a deal.
Even though they say they wanted to do them.
If Far From Home didn't make $1 billion, like Disney would get full rights back.
So,
we've heard
there was a
quoted, but like I've never actually seen. I've heard it like said a lot. I've never actually seen a source that says it. It's like
that's the same thing.
It's like a rumor. It's like, well, I mean, anyone can say stupid shit like that.
Well,
yeah, like I can say stupid shit like that.
But I mean, like a week after they broke $1 billion, all of a sudden this is happening. So it could be that Disney was banking on them not hitting that so they could get it back.
Probably. I mean, I think overall, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. So Disney obviously always wants to like own everything because, you know, evil super company.
Yeah.
But like Sony has no reason to get rid of Spider-Man because
Spider-Man is way too valuable of an IP.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even today, even after like the Iron Man Revolution and
he's worldwide. He is like the biggest selling superhero.
Yeah, he out merchandises even Batman, which is, you know.
Yeah. So as much as Tony has had this fucking research, like this big, I can't even say research because he wasn't popular before. As much as he's gained this popularity from the movies, he's not nearly as big as Spidray Man, the person that they have him undermine.
You also can't. It's also a lot harder to market Stark, I think. Overall, it's like. Yeah, he had like the researchers where you were like trading off the fact that, hey, look, it's Robert Downey Jr. But like,
pretty much,
it's a lot harder to like do more with that beyond what's already been done. Spider-Man, like, you know, there's a billion fucking Spider-Man things you can do. Spider-Verse, for instance, you can't do an Ironverse.
No, you can't.
You can't do. I mean. You can't have like, and also like Iron Man cartoons also don't super work because unless you're just gonna go the Tony Stark's.
They tried the Iron Man cartoon before. It fucking bombed.
Well, it was also looked really cheap. That CG thing.
What was funny? It was. Oh, I was talking about.
Oh, the 90s. I mean, come on, that's the 90s. Like everything bombed in the 90s.
The 90s also had cheap CG.
Well, the 90s for Marvel...
the CG in the 90s was not cheap. We should never forget how fucking expensive shit like Beast Wars was.
That's true.
So, what I was trying to say was, it was really, So, it was stupid expensive, but like, what was it? All of the Marvel shows, but X-Men and Spidray Man bombed. Yeah. Because they attempted a Avengers cartoon back then. It fucking bombed. They attempted Fantastic Four, which I think actually lasted a little bit longer than some of the other ones, but
to be fair, the Avengers cartoon bombed because they weren't allowed to use Iron Man, Captain America, or Thor, aside from like one-off appearances, meaning Ant-Man had to carry it.
And this was.
I think they had like Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, they had Ant-Man,
Vision.
Wasp, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Hawkeye, but like nobody knew who any of those characters were at the time.
So when suddenly the Avengers are lacking in all their big name draw characters, because you know me, I like me some Hank Pym, but
nobody else does.
Yeah, he ain't a big draw character.
Yeah. Hey, you think the reason why in the MCU, the reason why Hank Pym hates Tony Stark is because he meta knows that he stole his storyline?
No, I mean, if only the real meta question. Why didn't Tony steal the other part of that storyline that we don't ever talk, that we try not to talk about, that I always do because even though I like Hank Pym, oof, that's some character assassination.
That whole storyline is oof, regardless of which character we're talking about.
That scene in Age of Ultron where Tony just clocks Pepper. Alright, she's not in Age of Ultron because they're on break, because Gwyneth Paltrow was like, I'm not going to be in these movies anymore. And then she was.
Oh God, the money!
Just like Natalie Portman was like, yeah, I'm not going to be in these movies anymore. Oh, I know.
They're
Oh, no, I'm
stupid!
back.
Money! Oh, money!
Interesting. I remember I found it hilarious because like when Thor 2 or 3 was coming out and Idris Elba had done the Nelson Mandela movie, and he was quoted in an interview basically complaining about how he was like playing this really serious, like, you know, doing this big serious piece on a, you know, inspiring story of a terrorist who turned into a politician. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what happened.
Okay.
But like, but anyway, to go back, and then he was complaining that he had to like dress in silly costumes and say stupid random shit as Heimdall and Thor. And it's like now I saw last week there was an interview where he was like, yeah, I'd love to play Heimdall again. It's like, aren't you dead though? I mean, that being said,
but I want the money.
Isn't most of Thor's cast dead? I thought all of them were actually dead, and then they're like, oh, but here's all these Asgardians who can live in Scotland. And it's like,
yes, all of the Asgardians are dead except Sif, who just didn't show up in the last movie and was therefore spared.
And I don't know, but yeah.
Listen, I've had a change of heart. And the change of heart was a lot of greenbacks.
No, the change of heart is that everyone really liked Thor Ragnarok because like nobody really cared about Thor 1 and 2 very much.
Oh yeah, they weren't good.
In fact, Dark World is considered one of the worst Marvel movies, so everyone was like, well, screw this, we're out then. Like, if we're not going to get the same kind of hype that the other people do, it's not worth it. And then everyone loved Thor 3, and they're like, oh wait, no. We love Thor, we'd love to come back.
It's because for better or worse, something happened in Thor 3. Like, that's something more than what happened in Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah, they made him funny.
Well, it's not even him being funny, just nothing happens in those two movies. Like, nothing.
I still love how when they first introduced Thor, because they were still afraid of being comic booky, he was a fucking alien.
I mean, he's still an alien, he's just a really powerful alien.
They just pretend that that they never said that he's an alien. It's weird.
Except he was still hanging around with a bunch of aliens, and then like, hey, you're an Asgardian. We've seen your race before. So it's like, it's not quite. It's still basically he's basically just a Kryptonian at this point.
Yeah. And so is Captain Marvel.
I mean, she's always had that, where she's just basically Supergirl, but also she has energy absorption powers sometimes.
And can shoot beams out of her hands rather than her eyes.
Sometimes.
The beams are usual. That's it's like all the time. The energy absorption is depending on who's feeling in the mood for it to
Well, it's the energy absorption is for as long as it's not inconvenient for the plot for her to have that ability.
That's true.
It's always like, she can absorb all of this energy, except she couldn't absorb that energy. Or that energy, or...
Is
Is
that like how Professor X is the strongest psychic in the world, except for this guy? He's too much for him.
Yeah, except for Jean Grey and Shadow King.
And that guy.
And
that guy.
Yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be such a problem if not for the fact that the only thing Professor X can do is be a telepath. He can't, he's not telekinetic, and he hasn't got functioning legs.
Except for that one time where he had functioning legs.
Yeah, but... I remember that one time where Magneto ripped out Wolverine's adamantium skeleton, so Magneto, mind raped the fuck... Also, X mind raped the fuck out of Magneto. And that's how he got Onslaught. Remember Onslaught?
Yeah!
Wasn't he so good?
Oh, Onslaught was my favorite.
The best thing to come out of
that anymore.
The best thing to come out of Onslaught was Marvel's Capcom 2.
Not wrong.
Fuck. I mean, I think I've bitched before that Marvel can't do big crossover events. It never has been able to.
They've always been
Secret
really bad.
Wars is the best one, and it's like that was also their first one.
Actually, were there any others that were decent?
Not
even being funny. Are there any other decent ones? It's like I'm not trying to be funny right now.
I'm trying to think. I guess Secret Invasion. Oh, wait, no, Secret Invasion's dumb. Wait, actually, there's two Secret Invasions. They're
Yeah.
both pretty dumb.
Secret Invasion was good until Norman Osborn got the final kill, and then like everyone started worshiping him.
Well,
I mean,
and
until then it was alright.
Ah, yeah, it was one of those ones where it starts off
it's just
fine,
it's
and then it just goes to
and
shit.
It's like, hey, this guy's a Skrull. Oh, that guy's a Skrull. He's a Skrull. I'm a Skrull. Fuck, everyone's a Skrull. And then yeah, it led into shit like
He's a
Dark Reign.
dude. She's a dude. No, we're all dudes. Hey!
I'm trying to think of other like big crossover team up. or
I
big-
understood that reference.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. I appreciate people getting my dumb joke.
Now I'm honestly struggling to think of something that's not Secret Wars that's like.
I think there was one guy in Secret Invasion who's like, "Oh my god, I'm a Skrull, but I don't want to be a Skrull, or I'll just not say anything."
I'll just pretend I'm not a Skrull. That's what the Skrulls are best.
That's-
That's what the Skrulls' literal entire like gimmick is.
Wasn't that the same? Wasn't that around the same period of like the fucking like House of M and shit too?
No, this was a year. This was a couple years after House of M.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that kind of, well, that whole, pretty much the House of M, okay, so which one happened first? House of M, the fucking One More Day, which happened first?
I think House of M was first, but I'll check.
Because one of them, to me, is the kickoff of just the bullshit that was going on for years.
It was
in the comics.
it was Avengers Disassembled, which was quickly followed up by House of M, which is what started the whole New Avengers.
The Joe Quesada bullshit.
Yeah, well, House of M was 2005.
Because Joe Quesada's bullshit was so fucking awful.
And there was Civil War, and then after Civil War was when One More Day happened.
Alright.
I guess technically Contest of Champions in 1982 was before Secret Wars, but no one remembers Contest of Champions. I don't remember Contest of Champions. You don't remember Contest of Champions. If I could...
I forgot. I literally forgot all about it.
Yeah, exactly. If I'd have not mentioned Contest of Champions, nobody would have ever corrected me on Secret Wars being the first. I mean... I think I've complained or said my view on why like Joe Quesada and his mandate was inherently flawed.
It was those like he was running that for a while, and those couple of years in Marvel Comics were just some of the worst.
He knows.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing, right?
He probably also knew while he was doing it, but you know what? Fuck, and so I don't care.
Here's the thing,
It's like
right?
it's like the one time like when I was at Comic-Con and I passed up a chance to go to one of the breakfasts with Joe Quesada because I knew I'd just like start screaming at him.
Why?
You know what? That's fair.
I was literally I'm like no I'm going to lose it and like
I'll get
start
thrown
yelling
out.
at him and get thrown out, so I'm like no, I'm just not gonna go. And everyone was like, he can't possibly be that, and I'm like, oh, he is.
Well, it's like this, from my understanding, or at least my view. It's like how you always get this like sort of this like I guess you'd almost call it like set rotation in comics, right? So you have like the guy comes in who does his, or the guy or girl whoever comes in does their like run on character X, and does this and this, and shakes things up because hey, progression or whatever, or they want to like.
And what's funny? Oh, you mean where someone progresses it and then someone regresses?
Yeah, and
Is
then
that what you're
someone's
getting at?
like, well, that's not the character I grew up with. Like, and Joe Quesada, you have to remember, was reading Spider-Man at a very specific point where Spider-Man was, well, Peter Parker was, for all intents and purposes, a freewheeling bachelor who wasn't tied down with, things like marriage and mortgages and shit like that. And
Life.
yeah, so in his view, Peter Parker, the perfect Peter Parker, is that sort of freewheeling 60s, 70s era bachelor. So to him, all he's doing is with One More Day is he was trying to reset it back to what Spider-Man should be, whereas.
And he reset like everything back, because remember he did it also with X-Men too, because that's what House of M was.
Yeah, and that's the point. So then when it comes to people like us who grew up on another like very specific period of Spider-Man history, to us, the Spider-Man is like a married man with a loving wife and a steady job, and then also clones. But let's not go there. So it's like it's this kind of thing where,
and for whatever reason, he like really hated Mary Jane.
yeah, well,
Marvel's had this weird relationship with Mary Jane ever since Joe Quesada happened. Like, ever since then, she's kind of got this weird kind of end of the stick with how she's written.
I think they're terrified to do anything with her because I think it comes from the fact that the easy answer or the easy way when you think talking about Mary Jane Watson is to go, she's a supermodel. Supermodels are such a superficial. It's a very superficial like job. And therefore she's a superficial character, and as I said, this is a very kind of surface level what people will think if they're being very stereotypical.
Yeah, even though
there's three problems.
Yeah, even though she isn't. I find that actually kind of like shitty.
Aside from that, there's the first one. There's the fact that she's a beautiful, successful woman, and Peter Parker is supposed to be like a loser who's constantly getting crapped on by life. He can't get with Mary Jane. That's too good for him. Third is she doesn't have powers, and she's often a damsel in distress, and they really hate that these days because they're trying to push comics as not like the white boys club where the big strapping men go and save their women. That's also why they don't like Lois Lane very much anymore.
Well, they still use Lois Lane.
I know they still use Lois Lane, but note how they kept trying.
They
kept trying to push Superman with Wonder Woman for a while.
That's just they've just been doing that for years.
Once again, it's the
old.
The flip-flop thing where you have people who are like, man, I really like the comic where Wonder Woman and Superman were banging, so I'm going to do a comic based on that because that's my thing.
You also have this weird thing where people have this thing where like, oh well, because I remember seeing someone online with this where they're like, oh well, if the woman's strong, she still wants to be with a guy who's stronger, and he's clearly the only way. Duh.
I mean,
I've seen that. I'm not even fucking around.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's the reason why we can't have She-Hulk stuff.
Even though it's like, everybody is different, like whether it be man, woman, in terms of what they're interested in, what they're attracted to. No, it's always the same. What? Are you retarded?
I mean,
I can't do the King Henry voice, but it was an attempt.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah.
That's actually a lot more than I thought I was gonna get.
I mean, I just sort of work on the basis that no one, not even the English, can do an English accent.
You know what? You're right, because don't forget Tracer is voiced by an English woman, and she sounds like that.
She sounds like prepubescent. Yeah, that. She sounds like a chipmunk, really.
Is she supposed to be like 26?
I mean, I imagine her actual.
To be fair, I sound like this. So
I imagine her actual speaking voice that she uses in polite conversation.
I know she was an actress in Doctor. Oh God, we're leaving this area.
Oh, everyone's been in Doctor Who.
I mean,
it's not a fucking accomplishment.
I mean, I guess? I don't know. Fucking.
I've probably been in Doctor Who at this point.
And don't even realize it?
No, I'm probably one of the aliens. I don't remember. I can't have these blackouts,
You're actually one of the weeping angels that learned how to talk.
Then I had these blackouts, and then some days, it's fine. You just wake up on a studio set, and other days you wake up and there's blood on the floor. You're not 100% sure it's your blood, but I'm not going to stay around to find out.
But
have I ever told you about this? So there was this
No, but go ahead, because actually there's something I do want to say though, because when we're talking about the perfect, we're talking about the perfect version of the characters.
Here's a little aside that you'll love. So there's this quiz show thing called Eggheads, right? It's not really important context show. It's just your usual quiz show. So anyway, one of the guys wrote this autobiography, right? And he's meant to be, quiz champion, blah blah blah, really smart guy. Yeah, in the autobiography, he admits to beating a drug dealer until he wasn't moving anymore, and then throwing him into a canal. And got surprised when opened up a murder investigation. So I guess either he thought there was statute of limitations on murder and ran out, or what, but it's like, yeah, it just makes me laugh. Anyway, yeah, perfect Spider-Man.
So, what's funny about, like, people's reaction with that, I was thinking about this, where people are like, oh, the character has to be this exact way, and character progression be damned, is that I think it's hilarious, like, I think that's just so dumb, because, like, I remember when DC did a thing where they had Bruce finally eat it for, you know, a couple, like, I think about a year or 2
weeks.
And they had Dick... No, it was longer than that. It was actually a good bit of time before they brought him back and said he was actually just in the past and playing shitty games that suck ass. But when they had Dick be Batman, I actually really loved that run. It's actually some of my favorite, like, Batman stuff.
Yeah, but Damian's Batman now, so...
Oh, they did that?
So. I heard that from a friend, and it's like, it's that thing where it's like, you know, I should fact check this, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb it might be right.
Probably true.
I mean, yeah, they do keep pushing Damian out, even though I don't really care about Damian Wayne.
I mean, I know, wrong opinion, Sam loves him.
You know, I'm not surprised.
Of course he does.
I'll be honest, I watched that Teen Titans versus Justice League movie.
I hope I never meet this Sam, because all
I haven't
seen. So all I hear about is how wrong you are.
Sam.
Was he part of that game I played with you the one time where
yeah,
everyone got pissed off because it was a bunch of British guys and me, and like everyone in the comments was like, "Who's that one normal guy playing with them?"
Yeah. But yeah, it was. You've met him briefly.
Okay.
You didn't stick around long enough to hear his wrong opinions, but.
Well, you stopped inviting me at any rate.
This is start playing other games instead. I wasn't gonna say, hey, spend like $60 to get this game to play with my friends who you don't really know.
Oh yes. Oh, when you started playing Nintendo stuff that I couldn't afford.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not gonna be mean and insist that you have to play with people you don't know and probably wouldn't like.
Fair enough.
To be fair, there's not many of my friends I actually like.
Fuck.
That's fair.
I mean,
Jesus.
I'm just being honest. It's like having friends is like a professional courtesy, I think.
Oh my god.
It's that thing you do so that people don't question you on the other things you do. Because if you were that weirdo who just didn't have friends, they might ask about the bodies in the basement. Moving swiftly along.
I was gonna say that's kind of what you have to do here now. It's like, yeah, I have friends. I'm definitely not a lone weirdo who's might do something unexpected one day.
I didn't kill him.
Oh my god.
Look, if you can't joke about being a murderer, what can you do?
I didn't kill my wife!
I don't have a wife anymore. It's fine. She didn't die. She got retconned out of existence when I made a deal with the devil.
I don't know why people don't like it when the characters progress. It's so dumb. In fact, actually, what's hilarious about it is because I was making fun of like when people were like, but they added like the story and the whole like thing where Peter grows into his own for the MCU. I'm like, they did the storyline twice. It's the only difference is in the second movie they gave it an Uncle Ben spin, but with Tony Stark self-inserted into it, like some kind of bad fan fiction.
Well, I know I know. It's pretty obvious why they did the whole Uncle Tony thing now. It's so that if they ever lost the rights, like Sony would be screwed.
Well,
people are like, how are they going to make a third movie now when like literally everything about Peter has been connected to the MCU?
They won't. They'll just reboot.
Well, like, what the funny thing is, yeah, Sony could just make their own.
I don't know if they could, but like, the last two Spider-Man movies didn't do that great, and like, are people really gonna watch them reboot it a fourth time in like the last 15 years?
Here's what I do, right? You capitalize off the success of Spider-Verse, and instead of doing legit reboot 616 style Spider-Man, you just do something. You just do fucking live-action Spider-Man noir movie or Spider-Man 2099. You do.
Actually, you know what's funny? They were Sony is actually was considering doing or is considering doing 2099.
Yeah, that's basically what you do, because then it gets around. You don't have to do the reboot, so people don't have to go, oh, I have to see Spider-Man become Spider-Man again. And you still get to make use of the property and all the characters associated with it, and you don't have to do anything out of calculate yourself to Disney. It's like...
That reminds me, one of my favorite dumb like defenses when I'm making fun of the fact that they did Uncle Ben but with Tony Stark is they're like, what, do you really want to see the Uncle Ben story again? I'm like, yeah, but they still did it. They just replaced who Uncle Ben was. That's all they did. It's not even like they didn't do it, technically. They just took a different character and said he's Uncle Ben now.
Stretch it out across 4 movies instead of like half an hour.
Or less, because like Uncle Ben will die like a half hour or less.
But yeah.
And then there's Disney, but
and like he'll go and he'll go through his and he'll go through like his phase like okay, well I'm done. I guess I'm good now. Like a lot faster. So like there's nothing to be gained here. It's so fucking stupid.
And Disney doesn't care because they're just like, well, we did what we needed him to do.
Yeah,
we already made more money than God on Endgame. We don't care. We're now gonna do our TV stuff and try and pitch minor properties. Like we don't even have an Avengers movie lined up anytime soon.
We don't have any Avengers left to make an Avengers movie.
Well, because people thought that they were going to be like, and now we're going to make Avengers 5 with Spider-Man, Panther, Captain Marvel, and Falcon Cap. But, like, apparently no, they're just going to, like, we're done with the Avengers. We got all the money we made out of them. We're taking a break. So you can have Spider-Man back, Sony. We don't need him anymore. We got him in Civil War, and we got him in Infinity War and Endgame. That's all we wanted.
Well, no. They want him. They do. That's why they did their whole stupid thing, and then had made like Twitter bots to make a hashtag go on forever and get a bunch of nerds to get angry about it. Well, MCU nerds specifically.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew Sony wasn't going to go for it.
Well,
I mean, they were hoping because they're fucking cocky little shits. It's fucking Disney.
Well, Disney's not having a very good week between that and the fraud thing. And the fact that their theme park division is not doing what they thought it would.
Oh, and the more details on Star Wars failing.
Yeah, well, the Star Wars, they were like, so we didn't get the uptick in attendance we thought we were going to get from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And I'm like, well, cut up with the fact that your tickets are twice as expensive as the average theme park in the area, and half of the land isn't even built yet.
What? No.
Like, they have one ride. They have one ride in a bunch of stores. That's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge right now.
That's plenty. That's plenty.
Plus, dwindling interest in Star Wars all around.
I mean, in theory, it worked for Harry Potter, but
Yeah, but Harry Potter's more quaint. It's like no one expected anything to come out of the mega corporation Warner Brothers.
Well, except someone says except the Harry Potter world is actually like pretty impressively made, even if it's just really one ride and a bunch of shops, whereas the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is like a lot of crates.
Well, I know they also had to deal with rolling a lot, so...
And also Harry Potter has incredibly limited things you could really go off of. I mean, you've got 7 books, sure, but almost all of those books are set entirely.
And again, I mean, well,
in a school.
They opened a new ride called Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. The wait time when it opened is 14 hours online, which means you had to get online before the park actually opened, and that was all you could ride that day. And people still did it.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not. Harry Potter fans scare me.
My sister.
That's fair.
My sister's a hardcore Harry Potter fan.
Well, I mean,
on the other hand, she stopped judging me for a lot of stuff I'm a fan of now, because she's like, oh, I know what it feels like to irrationally love some kind of fictional property.
I mean,
I guess they can't make fun of you as much anymore.
I mean, I don't hold ill will towards Harry Potter.
I just get mad. I don't get mad, but she's like, yeah, I identify with House Slytherin. I'd be a Slytherin. I'm like, so you want to be a genocide?
So you're a Nazi.
I'm gonna say so you're a genocidal racist that wants to throw throw your hat in with a creepy noseless man to kill all the non-magic users, and she goes, well, no, that's not what I said. I'm like, because that's all they do in the movie. literally every single Slytherin is a bad guy. They might as well just like put on the hat. Hey, you're going to House Slytherin, okay? And then like they just walk into an oven backstage.
That's what they should have done.
That's what they should have done. Yeah, like it's like all Slytherins this way, and then just like kill them all. Like okay.
It's like, even though, like, we know Slytherins are usually evil, then why are you teaching them? You fucking clowns!
I mean, the better.
What's wrong with
question
you?
is, why do they have so many bathrooms that could just shit in their robes?
Oh my god, you're right. That fucking thing that she decided.
Never forget though, Hogwarts would sides with Palestine.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm just telling you what she said. This is the problem with Harry Potter, right? Is that J.K. Rowling is
Crazy.
Well, yeah, she's crazy and she's trying to alter history of her own writings. To Hermione was always black. What are you talking about?
She wasn't like a. Wasn't she just? She wasn't like. Wasn't she like a ginger or something in the comics? Not the comics, the books.
So she
No,
had brown hair.
I know it's different
Pretty
in
sure
the movies.
she's always been the brunette. It's just
She had like bushy. She was like says like bushy brown hair and like. I mean I never said she wasn't black, and they're like no, but you clearly described her hair and color and style in the way of a Caucasian.
And not only that, but you literally didn't stop them from casting a white woman.
pretty sure she is described as white at some white at some point, but like I don't know. I've not read the
Probably.
books in like a decade. When did the last one come out? The 7th one.
It had to have been about a decade because I was still in high school.
Yeah, that was the last one I read, and then I was like, man, I'm done with this series.
I
And
didn't,
then
I
I-
didn't even read the last one.
I did. It was. I
I was
didn't
like,
like
I read the 6th one and I'm like, what the hell is this? Why are we edgy all of a sudden? I liked it when the book was fun. No, if I want to watch like death and misery, I'll just go watch Gundam. So I did.
Been fair. I've never really gotten to Harry Potter. I know I read the first book and saw the first movie, and I just never really got into it.
Here's the thing with Harry Potter, right? Is it's a typical like slice of life shonen anime, but it's Western, so it's okay. Right? Go on,
Hmm.
correct me. It's basically anime, but it's made in the West, and it's a book,
Is
so
it?
you can. Yeah, well, think about
mean-
it. So you have your protagonist, right, who has phenomenal power without
He
really
doesn't,
trying
though.
for it. I mean, you say this as if like they don't. Isn't there like a passage in the fifth book where they're like, "Yeah, you're the best. We love you. You did
I
all
mean-
this, this, and this."
I mean, he's the best, but like, so one of the things they point out is that none of the kids in Harry Potter are particularly very powerful. Like, Harry wins because he literally has magic plot armor that protects him from the instant death spell, which is all that Voldemort
And
likes to throw
everything.
around.
I mean, magic
And-
plot armors protects him from everything. From like,
And like the other two kids, someone's like in the final battle, like it's the adults that mostly do all the fighting.
I'm just
The
saying.
kids are worthless.
I'm just saying.
That one crazy dominatrix bitch like just beats everyone up and then is killed by Ron's mom. Like okay.
I'm just saying.
Get away from my son!
I'm just saying. It has all the tropes and trappings of being like typical high school anime.
I mean, it's
I can't believe Harry Potter-
but like, like Harry himself isn't usual. Like, I am the bestest, most powerful character in the world with 3 transformations and a true form.
I mean, yeah, he does. It's called puberty, Sabo.
Wow.
I can't believe they ripped off Naruto.
I mean, I can. Remember when Sting's son, like, flat out traced over Bleach chapters?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that a wild time to be alive?
I forgot all about that.
I forgot all about Bleach.
I tried to, but then things crop up that remind me of that, and I'm like, man,
I deleted that memory.
why? It's like, well, because then I see, like, fan art and shit still, and it's like, man, why did this character have to be in Bleach? They're too good for that show. And also, it keeps popping up on Netflix every time I'm scrolling through to find TNG to continue my rewatch of that. I'm in the felt very unfortunate place of TNG right now. which is like halfway through season 6 where it's still good, and then next comes season 7, where they just don't care. Because like they already know, yeah, we the show's ending on this, and we don't have any more ideas. We've got the movie coming out.
Fuck it.
The movie where we got Malcolm McDowell in on the basis that he would get to shoot Kirk in the back and then cut that scene.
So instead, he shoots him off a bridge.
Well, then they just drop a bridge on it. Good old Captain Kirk.
Do they, while it's falling, do they say "Get off my bridge"?
No, he just
Oh.
No, but apparently after they filmed that scene, William Shatner was like, "Bridge on the captain."
well, you gotta have a
Lying
sense
there.
of humor.
Because they went through them. They're basically like, so you can either be in this movie and we'll kill you off, or Kirk will just never show up ever again because we're not doing another movie with you.
Yeah, basically.
So he was like, I thought about it, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll let them kill me off so I can get one more appearance in.
And he was never in, and then he's like one of the people who's never in anything Star Trek ever again after that. Everyone else who survived cropped up in things, I think. But yeah,
I mean, a couple characters showed up in Next Generation, but that was before they shot that movie.
I can tell you exactly who crops up in TNG.
Scotty and Spock and McCoy.
Yeah, Bones is in the first episode. Basically saying
Which was shot like before they even filmed Star Trek 5 and 6.
Yeah, that's the stupid thing, because like they were sharing sets while they were doing TNG. They were like sort of sharing sets with the Star Trek with the OT movies or OS movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure there's like the battle bridge on the Enterprise D is like used in the movies for just the Enterprise.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't use the battle bridge half the time.
Yeah, so the whole gimmick of making that model that could turn into two models was a waste of time.
Well, I mean, they were like it was a great idea, but it was like, one, that set was constantly stolen for use for other things, and two, like that model was just so complex nobody ever wanted to make it separate because they were afraid they were gonna break it. And sure enough, the one time they decided to use it again in the middle of when they did the best of both worlds, like somebody almost dropped part of it.
Man, he would have been fired.
Yeah. So and then after season 1, they made a smaller, easier model to film that didn't separate. So they were like, oh, yeah, I guess we just won't use that anymore.
Yeah, and it works because you don't need to. And then some of the more questionable things happen, like the one time where Data goes back in time and is into the Old West and is hounded by oh fuck, which literary guy is it? Fuck, who? He gets hounded by a famous author, and I can't remember. It's not Ernest Hemingway. It's
H.G. Wells.
No, it's not H.G. Wells. It's American.
Oh.
Fuck. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I mean that didn't stop him from being in the Old West in Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, come. I'm sure I'll like randomly scream the name of the famous author.
We'll get like a random message from you like in a couple days and just be like, ah, it was. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Oh well.
But yeah. So
Spider-Man is dead again. Mark Twain, that was it.
I can't believe Spider-Man was strangled to death by Mickey Mouse. Actually, I can too, but it's funnier this way.
Damn you, Mickey!
Oh, time to strangle you!
It's bad enough you strangled all the far fancy characters out of Kingdom Hearts.
You think you can be in this game, you fuckos?
I mean, no, that was Nomura.
I mean, Nomura is Mickey Mouse.
This is my game now.
Nomura is Mickey Mouse. Haven't you watched Just a Pancake?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Mickey had nothing to do with that. It was entirely Nomura because he was mad that, he was kicked out of 15. So he's like, well, I'll make my own 15.
With blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget
robots.
the 15. I mean, maybe if like, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a game where it's like every day I have a different opinion on it. You know.
I like it. I hate it. I like it. I hate
When I
it.
first played it, I was like, yeah, I guess it's not that bad. A couple things bugged me, and then like my friends. Well, the thing is, our friends started doing like, I'm gonna play through the whole series again. You should watch me. Let's play it. And I'm just like, I don't really have any interest in having anything to do with Kingdom Hearts anytime soon. Oh,
I mean, as
I
someone
guess
who
I burnt
did,
out on it.
as someone who did do that, like, play through the whole series,
I remember you doing that.
like in the run up to 3, and it's like it doesn't make anything better. It just makes it all worse because then you're like, oh wait, none of this makes any goddamn sense. Darkness within darkness awaits you if you play through Kingdom Hearts all the way through.
What about Darkest Darkness?
I mean,
Don't forget about Darkest Darkness.
Darkness, light, darkness, light.
light.
Why?
I like darkness.
Darkness,
Okay.
darkness. Okay.
Okay, I believe you.
I mean,
that has become like the most useful fucking thing to just
God.
reference when making fun of bad writing.
okay.
Like I've used it for like fucking what was it? Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Echoes with Celica. Where I'm just like, okay, I believe you. I'm totally all the dragons are bad. You know they're all bad. Also, you need to sacrifice your soul. I'm the priest and all, and you know both the dragons are mad, not just ours. Oh, by the way, also I need you to sacrifice yourself so that way people will live. You can believe
Maybe
me.
if the dragon was like the dragon in Trails in the Sky, where he just kind of shows up, where it's just like everything's fine, and then you're like, oh, there's a dragon here now, I guess. And then you chat with him, and he's a really cool guy. And he's like, yeah, I can't actually tell you anything that's going on with anything, but like, you know, sup.
Oh, listen, I mean, I know everything seems suspicious, and I sound and act like a cartoon villain, but I swear, I'm perfectly fine. You can
I
trust
mean,
me.
Dragon is a cool guy. It's just he's friends with Cassius, so
All you gotta do is just become a sacrifice for Duma, and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Alm will be safe. Don't worry, you won't become some puppet of evil. This is totally gray. Fire Emblem is known for being gray.
No, it's not.
Okay, I believe you. I know it's not. I've had people tell me like, "Oh, Fire Emblem does a good job being great." I'm like, maybe in 3 houses. That's about all you got.
I'm gonna say, how does Three Houses do? Like, I was like, I'm watching the promotional for Three Houses. And I'm like, okay, so they really want you to like. I don't think it worked because she's only the 4th most popular character.
They want what?
I said it
cut out.
I said I was checking, like I was looking up stuff about Three Houses, and I was like, oh, so it seems like they really want you to like Edelgard, but it didn't work because she's only the 4th most popular character.
is she the Red House one? Because even I know that nobody likes the Red House.
She's the Black House.
Actually, the Red House is actually well, no, they are red.
Oh, okay.
Red because well, they're called black, but their color is red.
Makes sense to me.
It's stupid. So, you had the Black Eagles, which are red, the Blue Lions, and the deer, the golden deer. Who's the most popular one?
The blue guy.
No, he really isn't actually. In terms of people like running the game, a lot of people started with the Black Eagles.
I mean,
The blue guy is pretty popular.
I mean, my one friend loves the my one friend loves the yellow guy, but she has a thing for like
But
characters like that.
was it?
Okay.
They
Sorry,
were
when you started saying that like your friend really liked the yellow guy because they have a thing for, I was getting a bit concerned where that was going. It's not a race thing.
No.
It's kind of a race thing.
So, what was I gonna say? He was popular when the game was coming out. Then when it came out and he didn't have the dark edge, Dimitri got more popular because Dimitri ends up getting a dark edge to him. Because, you know, people are like that.
Yes. I know he gets an eye patch.
Yeah. But yeah, the Black Eagles were the most played team, and you can actually, when you play the game, it'll actually even tell you. You can figure it out by most deployed.
So everyone went.
And it's just
everyone went with her, but nobody liked her in the end.
Well, it's more of the people that end up not liking her are loud.
Oh.
It's also like a billion fucking Fire Emblem characters, so it's like.
Now, and also now the game is really. I think this is like the first one to get really popular. You have a lot of people playing it, so like she is insanely popular. But what it is pretty much the people that started with the Black Eagles usually like her. Usually could get kind of in the middle reactions if they did Golden Deer. If they did Blue Lions, because she's extremely antagonistic in that one to them, they fucking hate her.
Yeah. Well, I'll be sure to remember that when I don't play Three Houses.
I just remember because Fates is like, yeah, it's the two sides, but one side is clearly the good guys, and one side is clearly the bad guys.
And one side clearly has the best girl, so who cares?
And even when you join with the bad guys.
Wait, hold on, I'm gonna judge you. Who's the best girl?
I wasn't actually gonna say anyone, just because I thought it'd be funnier than anyone could put in their own thing.
I'm gonna say, well, which is the best girl?
I see.
Yeah, which is your favorite sister? Which is the best girl to have your sister complex with?
I mean the most popular girl in Fates is female Corrin, so she could go anywhere.
It goes like female Corrin, and then Camilla, and then Aqua, who are like the worst two.
You're the worst two.
Okay.
Oh no, I've never played Fate, so I don't really care.
So I guess there's no secret DLC route in Three Houses where you get everyone.
No.
I didn't think so.
You can recruit. You can steal from characters from the other houses. So what you do during basically the parts before the time skip when everything goes to shit. So basically you can get them to join you by raising support with them, by giving them presents, having them assigned for mission assistance and shit like that.
It's just a dating sim.
Kinda.
Not really, but fuck. But I'm in one of those fucking side scrollers parts where this is even harder to fucking.
But I assume it doesn't work for the main characters.
Yeah. Basically, each house has two people you cannot steal. The house head and then their closest companion. Except the Blue Lions can steal Hilda, the Golden Deer's closest companion. Specifically, just them.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
What makes her so special? Or him, or...
Why is she able to be stolen? I don't fucking know. I haven't played Blue Lions yet.
Apparently because they're the most easiest going house. I don't know.
Is it because Blue Lion is the...
that would be... Golden Deer would be the most easy going house, trust me.
They said they're the easiest going house, so, like, they'll just join.
Is it because Blue Lion is...
People are like, the only reason the Yellowhead guy doesn't, like, join any other route is because people are like, why can't Claude, like, join whoever? Like, he's not antagonistic, he just leaves. Or something like that.
I mean, I'm gonna be, because I'm in my solo Black Eagle run, I'm gonna be fighting him next.
Oh.
So, I'll see what happens to him after the battle. Probably is gonna fucking die.
Battle for everyone's souls. I don't know, man. I got nothing to add to talk about Fire Emblem. I gotta do something.
You're not a Fire Emblem person.
I don't know. I never played any games and never really felt much desire to, because it's like everyone never talks about it is the waifus, and I super don't care about any of them.
I'd recommend Three Houses. Three Houses is pretty good, and I'm saying that I don't give a fuck about the waifu shit. I'm just saying.
I mean, Three Houses is the unfortunate thing where it came in right after I'm in the middle of playing through all of the Trail series that I can get.
No, I get that. I'm just saying that
if
I
I start this, it's just getting a sandwich between like the 6. Yeah.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, out of them, it's probably the one I would recommend to you specifically.
I mean, if you want to go to a military academy...
No, I'm
Cold
getting.
Steel.
Yeah, it
I'm
starts
getting
off like
to Cold
that.
Steel. I'm just on. I'm in 3. I'm on chapter 2 so far. What more do you
Wow,
want?
you said you decided to go to 3 first?
Yes, I decided to go to 3 so I can have all of the plot.
Well,
So, Kevin's like,
that's dedication.
so then Kevin's like, yeah, I have this dark and tragic past because of course it does, because everyone in Trouse has a dark and tragic past,
What a surprise.
except Mueller, I guess.
No, he also has a dark and tragic past.
It is his dark and tragic past that he was told to stick around with Olivia forever
Kind of.
until the day you die. You're serving this moron.
Kind of.
I love man. Mueller is like for some reason becoming my favorite character.
Mueller, literally, like, his entire family's job is just to, like...
Serve
To,
the
like-
Empire.
Well, no, his family's job is to go to a member of the royal family and just, like, follow them forever. No matter how annoying they get.
I mean, but yeah.
He hit the jackpot.
I mean, he didn't get the best one, and also the worst one. The one who's like, yo, sorry, Mueller, I did kind of duck out so I could go fight in this martial arts tournament. Sorry. Forgot
Sorry, Brad.
But why?
forgot to mention it, my bad. Who am I kidding? Olivia would never say my bad.
Might be.
But yeah, Trials is fun. I like it.
Yay.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm
They are
looking forward
really
to getting
good
to the one that's Persona, but with mechs. You know, better Persona
Better Persona. Well, Persona.
with mechs.
It's also, except it's basically like, so yeah, but it's really more like Trails, like, you know.
Ah,
I mean, they disguise it as a calendar, but it's really like, so this is your side quest part, and this is your main story part.
this is like the part
Now
when
the
you
cha-
did.
and now the chapter's over.
It's like
So like Tokyo Xanadu.
it's like that
Basically,
part.
yes.
It's like in Trials, where they're like, hey, you. So now you've done all of that. How about we How about you take a quick break? I don't know. Look at the bulletin board. Why don't you? Wink. But yeah.
Actually, Tokyo Xanadu literally is based off of Cold Steel.
Huh.
In fact, it also reuses its engine, but like, yeah, basically, Tokyo Xanadu came out between Cold Steel 2 and 3 because, like, I guess they needed something.
Tokyo
In fact,
Xanadu.
marketing for Cold Steel 2, I mean, for Cold Steel 3 actually first started in Tokyo Xanadu. If you see one of the posters, one of them is for Cold Steel 3, which at the time hadn't been announced yet. So they're like, who's this mysterious man on the poster with Reen?
Was it Crow?
Maybe?
Because there's always a Crow. I hope the Crow in Cold Steel also plays the card games.
Ah. He
Good on.
does.
He does.
He does.
Oh no!
There's a card game with Cold Steel, and he's the one who introduces you to it.
Oh no! Fucking Crow it's the truth. Crow ruins everything. Are you sure that it's not actually just the same character? Because they've already done that. Oh yeah, there's an alternate universe version of that Crow running around. So is this the thing? Is every Crow actually the alternate universe version of 5D's Crow?
I mean, he could be.
Crow from Ruby is also Crow.
Crow from Ruby is Crow if he got older and
There's,
more jaded and drunker.
it's like Spider-Verse but for crows. It's the Crow Core.
Finally.
No, the evil must be stopped.
The Chronoverse.
I like Leonhardt though, where you fight him and he's all, man, I'm the edgiest edgelord of all whoever edged. And then you beat him and it's like, oh right, I guess I do like you, my surrogate little brother. Good old Leonhardt, or
He's like,
no.
I'm so edgy because of Hamel.
And then he's like, have you tried not being edgy? Huh, I never actually considered that. Thank you for enlightening me to this. I guess I'll help you fight Weissman.
He's like, huh. Maybe
Are
I
you-
could stop being edgy and
Are you gonna be
go
playable?
back to my childhood dream. No.
Is that possible?
Are you gonna be playable? No.
You can't
Can I
handle
have
me.
your sword? No.
No, you can't have his sword because his sword is super special.
Because it's like made I think outside of reality or some shit. They said
It's a divergent weapon.
that was it. Made by Divergent Arts, whatever the fuck that means. That is the one problem with Trails, where it's like kind of they're always like, "Hey, you thought you'd accomplished something. You accomplished nothing."
Yeah, that never really goes away.
It's like, "Hey, you just did the whole thing where you saved like the."
Cold Steel does a thing where like you fight a boss and then like after you beat them, they're like, I was just holding back.
I'm pretty sure Trails does that. I'm pretty sure in Sky does
Yeah.
that. With
Sky does that too. Oh, yeah, Sky does that.
Leonhardt.
I was just holding back, and then like somebody has to come in and save you.
In fact, I think that's all the enforcers, isn't it? When you fight Walter, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, now I'm going to use both hands." Or you fight. Actually, oh no, I guess you don't fight right until mysterious enforcer let go, who I won't mention the name of for spoiler reasons.
Yes.
You don't fight her until the towers, and she's the most bullshit of those fucking tower bosses because she's the one who just starts around with. By the way, I'm going to use my S-craft that will hit all of you, and also it has like 50% chance to inflict insta death if you don't have the right things equipped. And then also have all her little drones that inflict insta death or petrify or confuse. You know, just so you can't cover your bases.
Well, there is a way around that. You have to have Kevin in the party and break before she does.
Yeah, I know.
But you have to know that's coming.
Yeah, basically, it's designed to catch you out.
And then she's like, oh, also I have a giant robot.
Also, I have a robot. And then when you get to 3, it's like, hey, we also want to build a device to fight Patamata. Or Patamata, however you meant to pronounce it. And they're like, what are we going to call it? Orbital Gear!
A weapon to surpass orbital
I do like
gear!
Peter's mother, though. She appeals to me in that psychotic engineer lady way. As long
And that is...
I mean, it's very specific, King, I'll grant you.
Yeah.
Probably the only one of her kind, I admit, but... More so that she wants to kill a gate, and I like a gate. A guy, whatever you pronounce his name.
Well, everybody wants to kill a gate because they're like, hey,
He's not Cloud.
pedophilia.
Yeah, I was surprised when the game literally said that, and it's like... Huh. That's the first, a Japanese product coming there, and not immediately to Little Sister. Don't worry, guys. He'll take us to meet his sister real soon. Not technically a lie, but largely a lie. Yeah. Man.
Alright. I think we'll stop
Fair
here.
enough.
Because it's about an hour in. So, hope you enjoyed Trails of Steel
I
talk.
was only for like the last 10 minutes. Everything else was like random shit.
Everything else was Spider-Man.
Bruderman.
It's true. Spider-Man, and then just random bullshit, then back to Spider-Man, and then Trails of
And
Cold
Fire
Steel.
Emblem. You guys
It was
rambled
the-
about Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem for like a couple minutes, and then like the last 20 minutes was definitely Cold Steel.
Actually, I think most of it was crows.
Actually, it was Cold Steel, then we mentioned Fire Emblem for a second, and then back to Cold
Back to
Steel.
Crow.
I'm excited.
Steel.
I'm happy I'm having fun playing this JRPG series while everyone else is playing the other JRPG series because I'm different.
Yeah, usually you're the one playing the one everyone else
Yeah,
is
well.
playing.
It's nice to be different for once.
Alright, guys, you have a good day.